Hey everybody, welcome to part 2 of the Johnny Smith guitar method, or the Johnny Smith guitar approach. I'm not sure exactly what the what the title of this book is since I lost my cover. So today we're just gonna jump right into this thing here. It's in my book. It's this starts on page 9. If you end up purchasing this book, I'm not too sure if what they've done with it. I've had this book for years. How Johnny Smith arranges his chords, and it's just a way of organizing everything that you learn on the guitar. So it's a great method. I didn't mention this in the first video, but Johnny Smith was from here in Colorado, or he lived here. He had a music store way back, like in my 20s, and you know, I'd always liked playing 12-string back in those days, and I remember I bought a 12-string guitar from his music store over on 8th Street. Of course, I didn't even know who he was back in those days. I kind of knew he was, you know, had quite a reputation, but I really didn't put 2 and 2 together. But I remember him and his helper had helped me pick out a nice Yamaha 12-string, and it ended up being a great guitar, and played it for many, many years. Now I wished I would have never sold it, you know, because I could be telling people, yeah, I bought this from Johnny Smith, you know. But enough of that. So basically, he starts this book off by showing, you know, that your main chords, which everybody that's at this point in the lessons probably already knows this, is that your chord is constructed of a root, third, and a fifth. So like for a C, he uses this example. You have your C, which is your root, your E, which is the third, and the G is the fifth. And again, so even though we've got all 6 strings here, we're only playing 3 notes, okay? This is your third down here, here's your root, here's your third again, here's your G, okay, there's your root again, and there's your third, okay? And then the way you can make it a minor chord is you flat the third, which would be like this. Okay. So major chords are the first, third, and fifth notes of a diatonic scale. The minor chords are the first, flat third, and fifth notes of a diatonic scale. And the diatonic scale is just your... Okay, so, you know, that's your go-to scale whenever you're doing any kind of chord spelling. They call it chord spelling, or constructing your chords. And again, he says, note that the C minor chord was made from the C scale. Again, 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's your third. So you have to remember, minor chord is a flatted third. So there it is, right there. Okay. So all chords other than augmented and diminished chords are made in a similar way, and it's very helpful to know the numerical formulas of various chords. This knowledge makes it possible to figure out chords that may not have been known by the player previously. Which that's good, because you know, you don't want to go out and buy one of those song books that has a gazillion chords, because half of them totally suck anyways, and they're chords you'll probably never use. So if you get this method under your fingers, it's great, because you can figure out just about anything. And then that way, if you're playing around on the guitar, making up stuff like I like to do, you're doing random stuff, playing different notes, and you stumble across something, at least you can figure out, you know, what chord you're actually playing. Okay, sometimes it can be hard to do, but a lot of times you can figure out what kind of exotic chord you just created. Okay, so anyways, let me read this one paragraph or sentence he has here. This book has been written in the hopes that the arrangement of chords, scales, and inversions will be of help to the serious guitar student in acquiring this knowledge. And this really, like I said, this really helps you arrange things, and it's really put together really nicely. Okay, so the first thing he does is called the basic form major and minor chords. Okay, and again, this, you know, if this is as far as you go in this advanced section, you know, this will pay off for you quite a bit, because this is pretty cool. Okay, so this is your C in root position. He calls this 1. So this can be kind of confusing, remembering the chord numbering of the chords. So this is 1. Okay, then this is form 2. okay, your A-shaped C chord, and this is form 3, okay? So, you know that you have to kind of, you'll see as we go along, you know, how all this works. So here's 1, which is C in root position. This is shape number 2. Okay. Well, I guess I should say these are all root position chords, so I don't know what I was talking about there. Okay, so form 1, form 2, form 3, okay? And you'll see where these forms come in handy as we move along. So these are all root position chords, and you're just showing 3 different ways to play them, okay? Now, the next one he goes to is going to be the relative minor of each chord. So now you're going to go to A minor. Because remember C? 1, 2, if you take your root note, 1, 2, 3, count down 3 notes, make that a minor, that's your A minor. So now we're going to cycle through those 3 shapes, okay? But now, this is kind of where this whole numbering system that he's talking about, this is rooted off your A string. So this is going to be 2, okay? So you got 2, right there. Okay, so, and then position 1 is going to be here. If you don't have your fingernails trimmed, it can be really hard to do. Okay, so anyways, we were on the A minor. So this is form 2, which is rooted off the A string. Okay, this is form 3. Remember, like when we were on C, we were using the E shape as form 3, okay? So again, if we were playing an A major here, that's an E shape, this is A minor, okay? So you remember that that's 3, and then of course 1 is here. Okay, that's always been a really hard chord for me to play. Hopefully you can do it better than I can. Normally, as I discussed in another video, very seldom do I do, you know, sometimes you can use it as an arpeggio. Some places are easier to play, and of course, these get easier as you practice these shapes more often. I've been spending a lot of time practicing piano lately, and I can really tell this isn't, this feels really hard today. So again, so we were doing C. Let me go through this whole thing, okay? So you got, this is 1, the shape here, okay, which could also be, you know, an eagle claw. So just kind of remember that that's 1. 2. Okay, and then this is shape 3, the E shape. Then we do the relative minor to C, which is A minor. That's 2, okay, because we're rooted off the A string. Okay, this is 3 because it's an E shape. And again, this is 1. Okay, so basically we did the C and its relative minor. So now we're going to go on to the next one. And I'm going to show you an easier way to do this that makes a little bit more sense after we get done with this. So now our next chord is F. And so Johnny Smith likes to go through the circle of 4. So I'm going to put this up to the camera so you can see it. Okay, so this makes a lot of sense because you know you're always going to hear about the circle of fifths, and it shows up everywhere, and you're like, oh, what's with the circle of fifths? Because it can be really confusing sometimes, and basically it's because things really resolve around the circle of fifths, but they go, you know, backwards, which is really like, or they go through the cycle of fourths, okay, which used to confuse the heck out of me. So what we're doing, and you can see if we go through the circle of fourths, like say for example, if we start, I'm just going to start random here, I'm going to start like on a B. If I go through the circle of fourths, 1, 2, 3, 4, see, this is the circle of fourths. And you can hear hear how everything resolves like that. Now, Jimi Hendrix, when he did Hey Joe, that actually goes through the cycle of fifths. And I can't remember right off the top of my head what the chords were to that song, but well, maybe we could do it. So if we did it in the key of C. Hey Joe, what you doing with that gun in your hand? See that? So that's going up. So you're going from C. If you go up a fifth from C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's G. Go up a fifth, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is D. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is A. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so Hey Joe progresses in the circle of fifths. But now look, when I go backwards, it's going the circle of fourths. So because here's E, 1, 2, 3, 4, which is A, 1, 2, 3, 4, which is D, 1, 2, 3, 4, which is G. Okay. Okay. So, so this method you're always going to be going down. So you're going to be going in a circle of fourths. Okay. So, since we did C, going down a fourth, 1, 2, 3, 4. That notes F. So our next progression is going to be F. So what's going to happen is we go through the circle of fourths, we're going to cycle through every single chord, every major chord and the relative minor to each one. So which is pretty cool and quite thorough because it's going to get you playing a lot of chords. Okay, so F is our next sequence. So this is 3. We've got the E shape. Okay. Now where's our next F? Okay. Can you think of where the next F is? It's right up here. This is 1. Now this is the eagle claw. Remember C was 1? Okay, so that's why this is 1. We're just kind of doing the eagle claw, which is the C-shaped chord. This is a really good chord to know too. I mean, it's so now the next one, shape 2, is really easy because your pinky's right there on the F. See that? So we got 3, 1, 2. Okay. So what's the relative minor to F? Again, an easy way to do that. It's kind of hard here, but to do it down here because you run out of neck. But you could do the octave. Just count back 3. 1, 1, 2, 3. That's D. We're going to make that a D minor. So relative to F is D minor. Okay, so now here's the shape 1. Again, let's look at it this way. Here's C. I'm in D, right? Shape 1. This is shape 1, but in the minor form. Okay, so that's going to be your first D minor shape. Okay, then so that's 1. Here's 2. And then this is going to be 3. Okay, so. Okay, and then what's next? What's the next chord in our sequence? Okay, we're going back to F. What's the fourth from F? Again, just use your major scale. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to go to B flat. Okay, so then here's your B flat. This is 2. Okay, 3, and then here's your B flat up here. Eagle claw. So you've got 2. This is 3, and then we're going to have our all the way up here is going to be 1. flat, what's its relative minor? Again, you can come up here. There's your B flat. Count down 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, which is going to be G minor. So now this is 3. Okay. Then we have 1. So here's up here is going to be your 1. And then 2. Continue on, then B flat. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's going to be E flat. So now we need E flat major, and here's your E flat major right here. So this is 1, 2, and then 3. Oops, where that's E flat. I'm slipping out of my chair here. Okay, so again, you can see this is a great exercise, for chords. Like I said, this is even good for me because I've been working mostly on the piano lately, and really been getting rusty on my guitar playing. And boy, I think I need to set the intonation on my guitar too, because boy, these chords really put you to the test. Okay, so. What's the relative minor to E flat? 1, 2, 3. So we have C minor next. So then he has in his book here, this one here is really kind of funky. I don't know if I like this one. That's a C minor. Kind of hard to play. You got your root, your flatted third. You know, you wouldn't think just moving that one note out of a C chord would be so hard, but it is. Okay, so there's 1, position 1. Here's 2, rooted off the A string. Okay, and then 3. Okay, and let's get this one again. Okay, now E flat was our last chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to do A flat. Okay, so now we're starting on 3. Here's 1. Oops. And 3. Or I meant 2. So we got 3, 1, 2, 1. Okay, now relative minor to A flat. 1, 2, 3 is F minor. So here's going to be 3. And here's your F right here. Okay, that's 1, 2. Okay. And then A flat, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to do D flat next. So here's 1, 2, 3. Oops. Okay, and then relative minor to D flat. 1, 2, 3. It's going to be B minor. Okay, so this is going to be 2, 3, and then 1, which right here is going to be B flat. Okay. A lot of times, I love just to use this little shape up here, but you have to know where your root is on it. Like say for example, if you're on an A minor, you can also use this as your root note, just if you're using this little triad shape here. This is your B flat right here. Okay, so let's do that again. So here's 2, 3, and then 1. And boy, I'm really rusty on these myself, actually. So this is going to be a good lesson for me as well. Like I said, I haven't gone through this book in a while, but in quite some time. But I always return to this and review it as the years go by, and it just always pays off. Okay, so our next one is going to be, we left off on D flat, 1, 2, 3, 4. So our next one is G flat. Okay, so F, G flat, or F sharp. So here's 3. Here's 1. And here's 2. And see, if you're a beginner, or just kind of reaching this level, this is great because it really makes you have to know where your notes are. It really makes you focus on getting those notes. Okay, so again, relative minor to G. Again, here we are. Here we just put the G up here. 1, 2, 3. It's going to be E flat minor or D sharp. Okay, so again we use. So this is going to be 1. And these shapes are going to come in handy as we'll keep using the same numbering system. So by the time you cycle through this, you'll have this down. So this is 1, 2, and then 3. Oh, E flat. Okay. Okay, so boy, that shape is a tough one for me to play. I hope you can play that better than I can. Then we come to B major. So where we were at? We were at E flat. Oh, is that right? No, we were on G flat. Sorry. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now we come to B major. Okay, so now this is 2, 3, and this is 1 up here with the eagle claw. Okay. So that's 2, 3, 1. Keep wanting to do that minor chord, okay? What's the relative minor to B? 1, 2, 3. It'd be G sharp minor. So here's 3. Okay, and then we're going to have 1. And G sharp minor. This is your root note here. This is 2. This is 1. So now you get to see what I look like when I'm trying to learn something. Again, this is 3. We're on the G sharp. There's 1. Shape 2. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now next we're on E. So now that gets a little bit easier because we're out of the sum of the sharps. So here's E major. That's 3. Good old E major. 3. Okay. 1. Oh, let's try and keep doing that minor chord. Okay. So that's 3, 1, 2. Okay, and relative minor to E is C sharp. Okay, so now we have 1. Okay. If you guys have a problem playing that chord like I do, don't worry about it. It's not like you're going to be using it all the time. But it's going to come in handy for other things. You know, that's the other cool thing about this is there's a few other chord shapes that they'll do in this book that will really stretch your fingers out. You'll find that just by trying to do these, it will help you quite a bit. So anyways, there's your C sharp. This is 1, 2, 3. Okay. So then we come to A major. Again, here's your E. 1, 2, 3, 4. That note's A. We're just going to put it down here. And notice when I'm doing these, I'm just kind of walking up the scale. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's an E, and I'm just doing the, you know, the diagonal, going backwards to the octave. So now our next chord is A. Okay. So we have 2, this good old A like this, then 3, and then 1. Okay. Boy, I think my guitar needs some work. This thing is really feeling really not. It's not feeling like a fine playing guitar or something. Okay, so next we come to F sharp minor, because here's A. Okay, there's 3. Okay, and then this is going to be 1. Oh wait, I'm doing F sharp, darn it. Okay, so you got 3, 1, 2. Okay, then we're going to go from A, 1, 2, 3, 4, which is your D. Okay, so here's it's going to be 1, 2, 3. Okay, then relative minor to D. 1, 2, 3 is going to be your B minor. There's 2, 3, and then 1. Then we go to G. See from D, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's your G. So this is 3. Okay. There's your 1. There's your 2. Okay, then relative minor to G. 1, 2, 3 is E minor. This is 3. 1, 2. You could even put that 3 all the way up here. Oops. So again, we got 3, 1, 2. Okay, so then we go back. We're on G. 1, 2, 3, 4. Voila, there you are. So now you're back to C, right where we started. So basically what we just did is we went through all the chords and all those shapes. And kind of long and boring, but that's a good practice for your fingers, especially trying to do this this shape here. Like a lot of times, you know, I'll just cycle through just, you know, just the... You can go like this and just forget the relative minors. You could do this. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, F. 1, 2, 3, 4, B flat. flat, E flat, okay, then you got your A flat or G sharp. Then here's your fourth here. 1, 2, 3, 4. G sharp. Okay, so now you have your B. D. Okay, there you go. So you can just do that if you just want just kind of a short abbreviated version of it. But you know, at first try to go cycle through and do the chords and then the relative minors. And so, you know, you could say for a week, just at the beginning of your practice, go through that. And at first it is kind of grueling. And you can see that that's why it can take almost, you know, in your spare time, you know, you could spend, you know, 6 months to a year. I mean, I just kind of just did it in my spare time, and I would just kind of keep a page mark in there and just practice for a few minutes each day. But just if you do what this first part of this book covered, that will help you out tremendously. Okay, so kind of a really boring lesson, but you know, it's really great for your fingers. I could feel it already because I haven't done this in a while, and like I said, I'm been kind of rusty on the guitar, and I'm going to probably work along and do these exercises and kind of go through this book with the advanced lessons for myself as well. So hopefully you enjoyed that, and you know, this can't hurt you one bit, especially if you're not sure where all your notes are on your guitar. Watch the video I did on learning the fretboard if that gives you a problem. Okay. But that's kind of what happens when you get advanced. You got to roll up the old shirt sleeves and just hunker down and do some of the hard work, but it does pay off. Okay, so anyways, folks, thank you so much. Please subscribe to my channel and drop by my website if you have time and visit. And feel free to join. I'd love to have you, and hope you have a wonderful day. And we will see you on part 2 of the Johnny Smith guitar teaching approach. Okay, thanks a bunch. Have a great day. Bye-bye.